everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft, and today's process video is for my Inspiration from Kids Arts and Crafts series. I really need to get a better title for that. But before I talk to you about what this series is, let me tell you what I'm doing, because this is the inspiration that I got from looking at Pinterest and doing arts and crafts with my daughter during COVID. Bubble wrap painting. So it's basically the same thing as doing the packaging technique with your mixed media, your misting sprays. I did a little bit of just the regular package technique first with this shimmer spray that I have in Pop Art Pink. And that was just to sort of create a nice base and do sort of a multi-level or multi-layer mixed media thing. So I did the regular packaging technique first, and then I took a piece of bubble wrap. I'm sure you have some lying around the house somewhere. I literally have a drawer full of old plastic packages, so I can do the packaging technique with them, and then a drawer full of bubble wrap, so I can do stuff like this. I just like the way it looks, especially if you're doing a layout that's like circle themed or has a lot of circles. You could add the bubble wrap in there to give you a nice mixed media background with circles. And it just adds a really cool dimension too. So I first saw this on Pinterest. It was, I think it was back in April 2020. It was to use bubble wrap and do like an umbrella rain painting type thing. And I thought it just looked really cool. And when I was testing it out before I did it with my daughter, I just did it on some regular construction paper using like acrylic paint. And I thought, this looks so awesome. Why am I not doing something like this on my scrapbook pages? So if you've been watching the channel, or if you were participating in my paper issue live scraps when I was on that design team last year, you've probably seen me use bubble wrap before. I have done it with both paints and misting sprays. Works well both ways. If you're doing it with paints, I would watch how much paint you put on the bubble wrap, because it can get a little thick, and if you're putting too much of the paint down on the paper, it will kind of bleed, and you won't get that nice circle, the crisp circles, the crispness of the bubble wrap. So just be a little bit careful about how much you're putting on to the bubble wrap. So basically, yeah, that's it. That's my inspiration. Taking something that was supposed to be part of a child's arts and crafts activity and translating it into a mixed media background on my scrapbook pages. The paper that I use, the white background, is just like regular white cardstock. It's nothing special. I did not put any gesso down. I tend not to do that because sometimes I find it doesn't really make much of a difference. So, my edges are kind of peeling up a little bit, but once I put it in a page protector in my scrapbook album, it'll be fine. I wouldn't worry about curling edges with any type of mixed media that I do, to be quite honest. Obviously, if you're using a heavier weight cardstock like a Vicki Boutin Foundations paper, you're probably not going to have much curling of the edges, but sometimes that stuff is hard to find. And sometimes when you are scrapbooking, you just want to use what you have. And so this is what I had at the time. Along with doing the mixed media, basically I'm just using up a bunch of scraps to complete this layout. I've got a bunch of stuff from Pink Fresh, a little bit of pebbles, a little bit of Simple Stories, I think. And some Bella Boulevard. Basically, the impetus of this was to take some old Bella Boulevard stickers that I had and create a layout around them. So the color of the mixed media I chose went with the pinks that were in these Bella Boulevard stickers. The photo is of me smelling some Play-Doh. There's actually a Play-Doh perfume, if you didn't know. It does not smell anything like Play-Doh. However, I had to take a selfie of myself with it for work. We were trying to just kind of do something fun on social media, and so I said, why don't I print this out and take it and do a scrapbook layout for it. So a lot of the stickers that I am using on this are like fruity, because it's like fruity scents, and that's why I was trying to go for things that smelled. And yeah, so I wouldn't say that I am using embellishments that are super specific to the photo, but they're at least really fun, and everything is the same kind of color scheme, and I'm just sort of making it work. And I like just kind of pulling embellishments that I've had for way too long, and just saying like, how can I turn this into a layout? And one of the best ways to do that is to make your own background, because you can do whatever you want with the background. You don't have to worry about, oh, well, do I have the right pattern paper? Does this go? Don't worry about it. Just make your own background, get a piece of white cardstock, get out your misting sprays or your paints or watercolors, whatever, and just go to town and do your own thing, like I did here. And then the rest of it is just kind of piecing together those embellishments and making embellishment clusters around your photo. You know, I could have backed the photo with some pattern paper. I chose not to do that. It was a big photo and I couldn't cut it down. I think ideally I would have rather done like a smaller sized photo, but I just didn't have the room to cut it down because it was such a close up of my face. Of course I could have printed it out in a smaller size, but anyway, sometimes I don't think that far ahead. You've probably gotten to know that as you've been watching these process videos. So that is the technique that I'm sharing with you today. Break out your bubble wrap, break out your mixed media supplies, and create your own background. And make sure to tune in next Tuesday when I do another scrapbook layout inspired by a kids' arts and crafts activity. I'm excited about this one because it is one that I have not ever done before on a scrapbook layout. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to share it with you. So click subscribe so you don't miss out on that one, and give this video a thumbs up like if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what some mixed media techniques are that you like to use, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching, and happy scrapping.